The kitchen light is still on, though the dishes have already dried on the rack. A faint coolness rises from the tile under your bare feet. The charger lies across the counter, its thin cord bending toward the edge as if it has been waiting there all evening. Outside, traffic moves in slow ribbons. Headlights pause, then slide forward again, caught somewhere between red and green. From the balcony, the city sounds softer than it did an hour ago, as if distance has gently folded over it. Your phone rests near the sink. The battery icon glows in a small corner, a quiet reminder of percentages and time. You pick up the charger without thinking, turning it once in your fingers, feeling its familiar weight before setting it down again. Nothing urgent is happening. Just the low hum of a day cooling off. The air brushing your arms. The light in the kitchen holding steady while the sky outside darkens by degrees. Some evenings arrive like this. Without announcement. Without explanation. You stand there a moment longer, between the counter and the open balcony door, noticing how the floor keeps its chill and how your breathing slowly matches the quiet outside. Traffic thickens just before the intersection near your building. From the balcony, you can see the line of cars stretch farther than usual, their brake lights pooling red against the darkening street. The air carries a faint vibration upward, not loud, just steady enough to remind you that the day is still moving somewhere below. You rest your forearms on the railing for a moment. The metal feels cool. The tile beneath your feet keeps its quiet chill, seeping upward in a way that is almost grounding. A charger cord still trails across the kitchen counter behind you, its small white head catching the light whenever you turn slightly. The light in the kitchen has not changed. It is the same soft brightness as before, neither warm nor harsh. It falls over the sink, over the dishcloth hanging from the faucet, over the charger that waits without asking anything. Some cars move. Some do not. You think of the way days sometimes feel like that. Forward, then still. A short stretch of motion, then a pause that seems longer than it is. No one outside the car can tell what is happening inside. A motorbike slips between lanes. Someone taps a steering wheel. Someone checks a phone at the red light, the screen flashing briefly before dimming again. You cannot see their faces, only the rhythm of small actions repeating in different vehicles. The kitchen air carries the faint scent of soap left from washing dishes. It mixes with the evening breeze that drifts in from the balcony door. The floor remains cool against your soles, a simple, physical reminder that you are here, standing, not rushing anywhere for the moment. Inside, your phone lights up once. A small notification. The battery percentage in the corner hovers low enough to be noticed but not urgent enough to cause alarm. The charger is within reach. You glance at it, then look back toward the road instead. The line of cars inches forward. There is something almost tender in that slow movement. No one can skip the waiting entirely. Everyone has to pass through it, 1 meter at a time. Red light. Green light. Red again. Your shoulders drop a little. You lean back into the kitchen, stepping away from the balcony. The tile feels even cooler now after the brief warmth of the outdoor air. You pick up the charger, press the small connector into the phone, and hear the faintest click as it settles into place. A thin lightning symbol appears. Nothing dramatic. Just power flowing quietly from one place to another. The phone rests on the counter, connected, its screen dimming to a softer glow before going dark again. You leave it there. The kitchen light hums faintly above. Outside, traffic continues its patient choreography. Someone honks once, short and tired, then falls back into the shared stillness of waiting. You move toward the sink, running your fingers briefly under the faucet. The water splashes lightly against the metal basin, cool at first. When you turn it off, the silence that follows feels larger than the sound ever was. There are dishes stacked neatly. A towel folded beside them. The charger cord lies curved like a small white path across the counter, no longer loose. You stand in the middle of the room and notice how nothing is asking you to explain yourself right now. Not the traffic. Not the light. Not the quiet apartment holding its shape around you. Outside, the cars begin to thin. The red lights spread out, less crowded, more spaced between stretches of dark asphalt. The intersection clears one lane at a time. The evening does not hurry you. You reach for the switch by the door, your fingers brushing the wall first, and then press it gently until the kitchen light clicks off. The intersection clears slowly, as if the night is carefully untying a knot. From the balcony, you watch the last cluster of cars stretch out into separate lines, each one carrying its own small interior world. The air feels cooler now, brushing against your arms in a way that makes you aware of your skin again. You step back inside. The kitchen is dim, holding the outline of cabinets and the faint reflection of the balcony door in the window. The phone lies where you left it, connected to the charger, a thin cord running across the counter like a quiet reminder of something being replenished without ceremony. The tile presses its chill upward through your feet. You do not rush to change the temperature. You let it stay. Outside, a motorbike passes alone. The sound is brief, then swallowed by distance. For a moment, there is only the thin hum of the building and the quiet pulse of electricity moving into the phone. The battery percentage climbs slowly. You lean against the counter and glance toward the road again. A single car waits at the red light now, its headlights washing pale light over the empty crosswalk. There is no line behind it. No pressure from horns. Just a pause that seems almost private. Waiting can feel different when no one is watching. You think of the way you sometimes move through a day without saying much about it. Tasks completed. Messages answered. Calls returned. Screens scrolled through in short intervals between responsibilities. The charger used, unplugged, used again. Nothing unusual. The cool floor remains steady beneath you. It does not ask for reaction. It simply exists, holding the weight of your body in a quiet, even way. The balcony door stays slightly open, letting in air that smells faintly of asphalt and night. From this angle, you can see both spaces at once. The kitchen counter with the charging phone. The street below with its intermittent traffic. Two kinds of movement. One slow and visible. One invisible and constant. The red light turns green. The single car moves forward without drama. Its tires roll across the white lines of the crosswalk and disappear into the darker stretch of road beyond. The intersection empties again, returning to a kind of open breathing space. Inside, your phone screen wakes briefly. A small notification icon appears, then fades. The charger remains firmly connected, doing its quiet work. You do not pick it up this time. There is something steady about letting it charge without checking. You walk to the sink and run your fingers along the edge of the counter. The surface is cool, smooth under your touch. The memory of running water lingers in the faint dampness near the faucet, though the tap is closed. Some evenings are like this. Not full. Not empty. Just suspended between one movement and the next. You rest your palm flat on the counter for a moment. The night outside feels wider now that the traffic has thinned. Fewer headlights. Longer gaps between passing sounds. The kitchen holds its shape around you. You glance once more at the battery icon. It has risen enough to ease a small, unspoken tension. No urgency remains. The charger cord curves gently toward the outlet, no longer a loose line but a connection. You step toward the wall near the balcony, your hand hovering briefly over the switch. The cool tile presses up once more, grounding, simple, ordinary. Outside, another car approaches the intersection, slowing naturally at the red light that has returned. Inside, you press the switch and let the remaining light fade, until the room settles into shadow and the night takes its place as you turn off the light. The road grows quieter as the evening settles into itself. From the balcony, the traffic lights continue their patient rhythm, though fewer cars answer them now. Red holds the intersection in a soft glow, then green releases it into an almost empty stretch of street. You remain by the doorway for a while. The cool tile presses steadily into your feet, neither welcoming nor resisting. Inside the dim kitchen, the outline of the counter is barely visible, but the charger's small indicator light marks a gentle point of presence in the dark. The phone rests there, connected. Charging. A breeze moves through the balcony opening and brushes your sleeve. It carries the faint scent of night air, thinner now that the day's heat has faded. Somewhere below, a car passes without stopping, its sound stretching briefly before dissolving into distance. You do not turn the kitchen light back on. Instead, you let your eyes adjust. Shapes emerge slowly. The edge of the table. The back of a chair. The line of the counter where the charger cord bends toward the outlet. In the absence of brightness, everything feels closer to its true size. The battery percentage climbs in silence. There is something steady about that quiet increase. No applause. No announcement. Just energy moving where it is needed. The charger does not hurry. It simply remains connected. On the street, a pedestrian crosses during the red light, footsteps measured, unbothered by the empty lanes. The signal changes behind them, obedient to its own timing. The world continues its small systems, whether watched or not. You step onto the balcony fully now. The railing is cooler than before, holding the memory of the night air longer than your skin does. You rest your hands there and look down at the intersection, noticing how wide it feels when no one is waiting. The city does not demand explanation in this hour. A single window in the building across from you glows softly. Someone else is awake. Perhaps standing in their own kitchen. Perhaps leaning on their own balcony. Separate rooms, similar stillness. Behind you, the phone screen lights briefly, then dims again. The charger remains secure, a thin line of connection stretching quietly across the counter. You do not move to check it. The tile continues to press its coolness upward, grounding you in something simple and immediate. You shift your weight from one foot to the other and listen. There is no honking now. No rush of engines revving at the light. Only the distant hum of the city settling deeper into night. The intersection changes colors for almost no one. You think of how often the day asks for reasons. Why late? Why tired? Why quiet? Why not? Here, none of that follows you. The phone charges in the dark without questioning the hours it has already spent lit up. The street waits at red without arguing with the green that will come next. The balcony holds your weight without asking how long you plan to stand there. The breeze lifts slightly, brushing against your neck. It is cool enough to notice, not cold enough to retreat from. You take a slow breath and let it move through you, unmeasured. Inside, the small charging light remains steady. You turn once more toward the kitchen, stepping back onto the cool tile. Your hand reaches for the wall switch out of habit, fingers brushing the familiar rectangle before pausing. For a moment, you leave it as it is. Then, gently, you press it down again, letting the faint glow disappear completely as the room settles and you turn off the light. The night grows thicker without announcing it. From the balcony, the intersection below looks almost spacious now, as if the day has folded itself away and left only a few scattered traces behind. A car arrives at the red light and waits alone, its headlights stretching across the white lines before fading into the darker pavement. You stay by the railing a little longer. The metal is cool under your palms. The tile behind you keeps its quiet chill, a small steady presence against your feet. Inside, The phone continues to charge on the kitchen counter, the cord resting in a soft curve that has not shifted since you plugged it in. No one calls out. A faint breeze passes through the open door and brushes the edge of the counter. It moves across the charger cable, barely enough to stir it. The battery percentage climbs somewhere behind you, unseen but ongoing. Below, the light changes from red to green, though there is only one car to receive it. The vehicle rolls forward slowly, not in a hurry, as if the driver understands that the road ahead is clear. You notice how wide the intersection feels when it is not crowded. The painted lines seem longer. The gaps between streetlights more noticeable. The silence between passing engines stretches just a little farther each time. Inside the kitchen, the darkness is not heavy. It is simply there, holding the outline of familiar objects in softer edges. The charger's small indicator remains steady, a point of quiet constancy. There were hours earlier when the phone screen stayed bright for too long. Messages answered quickly. News scrolled through without much thought. The battery percentage dropping in small increments that felt easy to ignore until they were not. Now it rises again. You do not need to explain the earlier hours. Not to the street. Not to the night. Not even to yourself. The charger does not ask why the battery drained. It only offers connection when it is given the chance. A second car approaches the intersection and slows to a stop at red. The brake lights glow softly, then hold. There is no line behind it. No pressure building. Just a pause that belongs to this particular moment. You lean back slightly, letting your shoulders rest against the doorframe. The coolness of the tile meets the warmth of your skin in a simple exchange. The air brushes past, carrying a faint echo of distant traffic that never fully disappears. Some evenings do not ask for more. The phone screen lights briefly inside, perhaps from a late notification, then dims again without being checked. The charger remains firmly in place, a quiet agreement between device and outlet. Below, the red light changes once more. The waiting car moves through the intersection and disappears down the darker stretch of road. The space opens up again. You step back into the kitchen. The counter is only a shadowed shape now, but you know exactly where the phone rests. The cord leads your eye to it without effort. The battery continues to fill. You run your fingers lightly along the edge of the counter, feeling the smooth surface in the dark. No need for brightness. No need for commentary. The apartment holds its silence without making it feel empty. Outside, a final car passes without stopping, gliding through the green light and leaving the intersection briefly untouched. You reach toward the wall once more, fingertips grazing the switch. The room is already dim, almost fully given over to night. Still, you press it down gently, and let even that small remaining glow disappear as you turn off the light. The balcony door remains slightly open, just enough for the night air to move in and out without resistance. The intersection below now feels less like a crossing and more like an empty stage between passing lights. A car approaches, slows, waits at red, then continues on as if the pause was simply part of its breathing. Inside, the apartment is darker than before. Shapes are familiar without being fully seen. The charger lies stretched from outlet to counter, its line faintly visible when a distant headlight briefly washes through the room. The phone stays connected. You stand near the doorway, one foot on the cool tile, one closer to the balcony. The chill of the floor presses upward again, steady and uncomplicated. It does not ask how long you have been standing there. Another car turns into the intersection and stops at the red light. The brake lights glow and hold. The street feels wider when there is only one vehicle occupying it. No overlapping engines. No layered impatience. You lean slightly against the frame of the door. There were moments earlier when waiting felt different. In traffic during the day, perhaps. The line of cars pressing forward, each driver measuring distance in meters and seconds. Eyes shifting between the light and the dashboard. Hands adjusting the steering wheel even when there is nowhere to go. Now the waiting looks softer. The battery percentage rises another few points. You do not look directly at it, but you know it is happening. The charger continues its quiet work, untroubled by the earlier drain. It simply remains plugged in, offering what it can. The breeze carries a faint trace of asphalt and something cooler beneath it. The night has deepened enough that the sky above the buildings looks almost even in color. No streaks of sunset left. Below, the red light turns green again. The car moves through the intersection, tires gliding over painted lines. For a brief second, the street is empty in every direction. A small, unclaimed stretch of space. You step back into the kitchen fully now. The darkness wraps around the counter, the sink, the edge of the table. The charger's small indicator is one of the only steady points. The tile is colder in the center of the room. You shift your weight and notice how the body adjusts without comment. Shoulders settling. Breathing lengthening. No need to narrate it. Outside, a pair of headlights appear at the far end of the road. They approach slowly, as if unsure whether they need to hurry at all. The red light catches them and they stop, alone once more. There is something gentle in that image. A single car waiting at a signal that changes regardless of audience. The world keeps its timing, even when few are there to witness it. The phone screen lights briefly again, perhaps from a late message. It fades before you move toward it. The charger remains steady, its cord forming a quiet curve across the counter. You do not reach for it. The apartment feels settled, as if it too has reached the end of something without needing to name it. The balcony door allows just enough air to keep the space from feeling closed. The red light below holds. Then shifts. The car moves on, and the intersection clears once more. The street resumes its open posture, unburdened. You glance toward the wall switch, fingers brushing it in the dark. The room is already given over to night, shadows filling the spaces between objects. Still, out of habit more than necessity, you press it gently and let even the faintest remaining glow disappear as you turn off the light. The night has settled fully now. From the balcony, the intersection below looks almost unreal in its openness. The traffic lights continue their quiet sequence, red, green, red again, though only an occasional car answers the signal. Most of the time, the road remains still, stretched out like a long breath being held without strain. You stand at the doorway, the cool tile steady beneath your feet. Inside, the apartment has softened into shadow. The charger is still connected to the phone on the counter, its thin cord barely visible in the low light. The battery percentage has climbed higher by now, though you do not check the exact number. It is enough to know that it is rising. A single car approaches the intersection and slows at the red light. The headlights sweep briefly across the balcony railing, casting faint moving lines along the wall behind you. Then they settle, waiting. There is no hurry in the scene. No one leans on the horn. No engine revs impatiently. The red light holds its place, and the car accepts it without protest. In the quiet, the city feels less like a machine and more like something breathing in its sleep. You rest your hand lightly on the doorframe. Earlier in the day, explanations might have been necessary. Why something was late. Why a message was not answered immediately. Why energy felt thinner than expected. The hours filled themselves with small justifications that moved from one conversation to another. Here, none of that follows. The charger does not ask why the battery drained. It does not measure how long the screen stayed bright. It simply continues to offer current, quietly, without commentary. The phone receives it without defense. Below, the red light turns green. The waiting car moves forward, crossing the intersection at an even pace. For a moment, the road is empty again, open in all four directions. The signal changes back to red for no one at all. You step out onto the balcony fully and lean your forearms against the railing. The metal feels colder now than it did an hour ago. The air carries a deeper quiet, as if even distant traffic has retreated to another part of the city. The tile behind you keeps its cool patience. You let your shoulders drop. The small movements of the day feel farther away from this hour. Tasks already done. Messages already sent. Words already spoken. None of them need to be rearranged tonight. Inside, the phone screen remains dark, still charging. The cord rests where it has been resting, undisturbed. The apartment holds its silence without asking you to fill it. Another car appears at the far end of the street. It approaches slowly, pauses at the red light, and waits alone. The glow of its brake lights reflects faintly on the pavement. You watch without judgment. Waiting looks different at night. It is not a delay. It is simply part of the rhythm. Red holds. Green releases. The cycle continues whether anyone is counting or not. The coolness of the tile meets the warmth of your feet again as you step back inside. You move toward the counter, glancing once at the charging phone. The battery is higher now. Enough for tomorrow. You do not unplug it yet. Instead, you walk toward the wall. Your fingers find the switch in the dark by memory. The room is already nearly invisible, shapes dissolved into shadow, the balcony door still open to the night air. Outside, the light at the intersection changes once more, unnoticed by anyone in particular. Inside, you press the switch gently and let the apartment settle into full darkness as you turn off the light. The balcony door remains open just a little. Outside, the intersection continues its quiet rhythm, red and green changing for whoever happens to pass. Sometimes a car stops. Sometimes no one does. The night does not mind either way. Inside, the phone rests on the counter, still connected to the charger. The battery has risen enough. The cord lies in its familiar curve, uncomplicated, patient. It has done what it was meant to do. The tile is cool beneath your feet. The air moves gently across the room, carrying the faintest trace of distant traffic that never fully disappears. Nothing here asks you to account for the day that just ended. No explanations are required in this hour. You step once more toward the balcony and look down at the nearly empty road. A single car pauses at the red light, then continues on when it turns green, leaving the intersection open again. Inside, you reach for the switch by memory. The room is already dark. Still, you press it gently, and let the quiet remain as you turn off the light.